Hello folks, Hellcrex here. I'm just doing a kind of a setup of a Battletech typical game using all the different terrain that I have on hand. This is just a small smattering of what we got here. And just to start off, the basis with the green right here that you're seeing, this is just green felt that you can buy at any fabric store, Walmart, you name it. And I got a sheet that is a felt that's 4 by 8. So if I have a 4 by 6 table, there's going to be some lapping over. If you have a larger setup table, you can lay it out. And in this case right here, you're just seeing this is just a small section of what a table would look like. It's a little more condensed, but you know, a lot of this stuff is what I use for when I was playing micro armor, which is 1/285 6 mil / 1/300 scale. And what we're doing here is showing you off kind of the stuff we do for Battletech. And so the base of the cloth, real cheap. It's going to cost you probably, I think when I bought this sheet here, I bought probably $19.90. So back then it was less than $1 a yard. So it cost me, gosh, maybe $5, $6, somewhere in there. It might be $10, $12 now. So not very expensive. When you think about, a lot of people will spend $7,500 and get one of those mats now, rubberized mats that kind of like a mouse pad. To me, I got this right here, and I got another one in black for when I'm doing playing starships. So it's really cheap, inexpensive to get into. Just go to your fabric shop and pick it up. Now everything here is almost everything's been fabricated by me except for the buildings and the mechs. And we'll just show you here. This right here is a went to a train hobby shop, and I picked this up. This is just white foam core. It has a little foam. It's kind of squishy a little bit. And I just cut it out into shapes, glued on trees that I made from a train store, which comes with all the kind of like the flocking stuff that goes on it, so you have the limbs and everything. I didn't put any effort into this. I just kind of twisted them around, and then I glued them on the base, and then I put flocking on the base. Basically the same thing I showed in one of my previous videos. Take white glue with a little bit of water, spread it on there, and then take a big box full of flocking and put it in there and shake it around and pack it on. Really cheap. And I think I spent at the time maybe $20. It might be $30 to get a packet of trees now. The only thing I would do different nowadays is, now that they have the what do you call them, the rare earth magnets, what you could do is cut out a little bit of indentation, put like a washer in there, and then put a magnet at the base of that tree. So if you need to, say this mech wants to be there, that tree's kind of in the way, so you could lift it off, move it, and then put the mech where you want the tree to be. And then when the mech leaves, you just put the tree back on using the magnet with the washer on. That's one thing I would do later on, now that I have that availability. But 20, 25 years ago, we didn't have those things. So it's amazing what science will do for us in helping our gaming out. Now, next you see this road right here and this road right here. That road here is nothing more than just a piece of paper, the heavy oak tag that you can buy at let's say Walmart or Staples, you name it, any type of office store supply. It was black. All we did was take some gray spray paint and just and it makes it look like it's concrete. And you can shape this into long pieces, shorter pieces. You can make roads if you want to out of that. Now if you're a little more crafty and handier, and you don't mind, see, a lot of times we'll have a whole bunch of those made up, and it's like, oh, we need a little bit here, and just rip a piece off. It's not like it's expensive, you know. This here is MDF Fiber Board that I measured out, and then took my jigsaw, cut it out into pieces, and then basically put down some paint and some flock. This is kind of, what do they call it? It's like a textured paint. Just painted on there, and then I just glued and spackled on different, using like a old toothbrush, and spackled it on there, making it look like a gravel road, or some type of other type of road, and then just put a little edging of flock on it. And I got a whole bunch of that I made up. And the same thing can be said of the water. Pull this piece off right here. It's the same thing. Just using the same measurements, which is like 2 inches here, and making templates, and just going through here and take some spackle that you use for, or mud that you use for filling in for drywall. Spread it on there, give it some texture in there. You can see it's got some little bit of streaking. Just take the brush, go right across it, and then when that dries, you spray paint it blue and put some flock on it. It's the same thing. Really cheap. If you have a jigsaw, you can bust a bunch of this stuff out really quick. And a piece of MDF board is like 10, 15 bucks. You can get it at like a Lowe's, Menards, etc. What else we got on here? We got some hills, and like these hills right here. I have a whole bunch of style of hills. This is, back then we didn't have the pink styrofoam. It was just the white stuff, a little bubble like. Now if I was going to make this would be out of the pink stuff. And basically took a hot foam gun, which has got a wire, and you just go burn a hole right through. You can pick those things up at Lowe's, Menards, for cutting foam, styrofoam. And you just cut it, and it's got a really nice thin angle, so when you have it, you can take a mech and just set it on there. You're on the hill, but you're not going to fall off. Alright, it's got a little bit of an angle. Now we treat everything like this. This is a level 1 hill, so if you're sitting like this, you're going to be to anybody on that side, you're going to be on the punch tape, or not punch, but that's the old rules. Not coming to me right at the moment. But so basically any shots that come in will hit in the legs, will hit the ground instead. So partial cover, there we go. I knew it'd come to me eventually. Alright, so that's real simple. So just some tools that you can pick up, and once you get these things, you can just start pumping out a whole bunch of terrain. So you can go out and buy a 1-inch thick piece of pink foam, big sheet, and you can turn that into enough to cover your entire board for minimal cost. And I think it's like 15-20 bucks to get the wire cutter, foam cutter. So once you have it, you can keep using it for a long time. Then if you're sitting over here, I don't know if you can see this, but right here, there's a level 2. There's a second layer up here. So this would be level 0, this would be level 1, this would be level 2. If you put a trees up there, level 4. Put a tree here, you got level 3 because the trees are level 2s, etc. these little buildings right here, these are micro armor buildings. They work great. So if you have this Victor here standing by this building, he's going to get partial cover due to the building. So any shots come in, they hit the legs, will hit the building instead. And those will be level 1 buildings. So if somebody's standing here and someone's on the other side of the hill, directly line of sight, that's going to block line of sight, because we consider this level 1, this is level 2. Their mechs are level 2, so they're going to block the line of sight. And this right here, he'd get partial. This Black Knight would get partial cover to this guy, due that he's higher, the building's in the way. All right. Now, what else we got here? I think I've showed these in a video before. These right here, this is nothing more than furnace filter that I cut using a pair of scissors into shapes. You got some high ones, low ones, and take some of the same glue that you have, brush it on to the furnace filter, then you turn around and put flocking on it, and you got an instant hedge or tree line. And in this case, this would be like a level 1 equivalent of a so this guy's right here and this guy's over here. This trees right here would provide 1 hex equivalent of trees in between them, but they can still see each other just fine. Just like this guy here behind this building can be considered a level 1 building. This little extra part right here, this section here, would be considered like a level 2. Alright, so a vehicle could be hiding behind it. So there you go. So that will take care of a lot of stuff. Hang on a second. When you're playing these games, you want to have something we always used to call the string of death, which is in a knot right now. But you take your string, which is just your basic nylon string I got here, and you can draw, let's say you want to use it, so line of sight from this mech to that mech, go over head to head, touch head to head, and you look directly down and you can see where exact line of sight is, because when you use an open terrain, it is head to head. And if you're using hex maps, and you're just drawing through the hexes, you're just figuring it out. So it's really you just go that route. But it's a bit different when you're using open terrain. So I think that might cover pretty much everything that's gone through here. There is, oh yeah, I was gonna say I didn't get them out. I don't know, they're in a different box. But what you can do is take like small little 2x4s, cut them up into pieces, scraps, 1x1s, blocks, and you can just turn around and take those things and cut them up into, say, tall little blocks about yay big, squares. So they look like apartment buildings, tall skyscrapers. You can glue them together, hammer them together, and then what you do is you can find online, etc., is print out like facades of buildings. I think the recent ones I've ever seen are Drop Zone Commander. They have some. Just check out Drop Zone Commander by Hawk War Games. Print those things out and you just glue them on, and then suddenly you got big buildings, you got skyscrapers, and you just make a small little base for them, and you can make a cityscape. For skyscrapers, you make them different heights, and you know, you could have level 4s, level 5s, level 6s, and then you just mark at the top what the level is of that building and marker. So it's pretty simple. Just some hints and things that you can do. And I hope this gives you some ideas what you can do and create terrain really cheap for your Battletech. Be it you can use it for like these trees and hills, I use it for Warmachine, 40K, 30K, Warhammer. You know, it can be used for any scale of games. These roads right here can be used for 15 mil. I can use the, like in this game, that's a river. We could call it a level 2 river depth, you know, or in like 40K, it could, or Warmachine, it is just a water, a creek. Doesn't matter. You can use these for different things. It's just not for one game. Overlap stuff. It saves you money. All right. This is Hell Cricks, and I hope you guys have a great day.